Good evening, my What If friends. I'm your host, Nacole Hodge, and I'm so happy to finally be able to welcome you to the What If podcast, where we will talk all things what if. I'm so excited to be able to have this opportunity to bring up this topic because we all go through cases of what if. What if this? What if that? What if over there? What if over here? There's so many different avenues that you can go down with the what if question. So I think it's fair to say that we all get the case of the what ifs. Now, I'm not using this time to go back in history and talk about, well, if I would have done this, or if I would have done that, it would have been a better outcome, or if I would have lived over here, or if I would have grown up this way, I would be a totally different person. Those what ifs don't matter today. What matters today is knowing and making that mind shift of being able to see the different roads that what if could take you down. Of course, as humans, I totally understand that it is a natural state to automatically go to the negative side. But what if I told you we can change and shift that mindset from negativity to positivity? The what ifs is not just for the negative road. It can also be for the positive what if road. I would much rather be on Positive What If Avenue than negative what if Boulevard. What does negativity do for us? It only allows us to see the negative. It blocks our energy, it blocks our mind, it blocks everything that could potentially be good, so we don't see it. If we continue to choose that negative what if road, we are never going to be able to move forward and to really get down and really enjoy life, but also not able to live out our dreams. We all have dreams, big, small, whatever. We all have dreams within us. You know how I know that? Because we were created, we were born and instilled with those dreams. Each and every one of us has a dream. And if that dream wasn't obtainable, we would have never been gifted that dream. The whole saying of if you can dream it, you can do it is so true. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my dream that I had as a little girl. I knew that I wanted to travel for a living. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't even know what it meant to travel for a living. But I knew that's what I wanted to do. I just could feel it in my heart of hearts that that's what I wanted to do. Again, didn't know what it looked like, didn't even know how I could do that. So I continue on through life and I get to different jobs. I'm always switching jobs. And if you're a person who has changed many different types of jobs or many different, maybe in the same career line, but different companies that you have switched from, you take those doors that open for you, not realizing that it's a foundation for something different or something more, not necessarily different, but something more. And we tend to ask ourselves, when those doors open, what if I go through it? What if it's not meant for me? What if I can't succeed in that door? What if I don't go anywhere? What if it's a lateral door? What do I do? Those are the cases of the what if that I'm talking about. So, what if we did take that leap of faith and go into those open doors? Seems like I was switching companies almost on a monthly basis during my early career. I didn't necessarily understand that I was walking through open doors that were meant for me, that was creating each and every one of those open doors. They were creating a foundation for the next open door. So I would take what I learned from the last place into the next place. So again, I didn't realize why I was taking those open doors. What I can tell you is I am so glad I took all of those open doors. I now understand why I had the open doors, because they were foundations to the next door. So when we are feeling ourselves, maybe we're feeling stagnant, maybe we feel as though there's nothing else out there, and we feel lost, again, stuck, not knowing what the next move is. What if that open door is right there in front of you, but for some reason you just don't think that that open door is for you? You think that you are right where you need to be. You're not making any moves where you're at, right? We always have to constantly be moving because we're always in a new season. So we always have to grow. We always have to build our knowledge, because building our knowledge is allowing us the foundation for our next open door. One thing that I like to say, which is my mom's favorite quote, is knowledge is power. That is so true. I never really understood that as a child, but I understand it more than anything as an adult. Knowledge is power. Nobody can ever take that away from you. That is yours to keep forever and to use. Knowledge is a tool that we get to use every day. So when we get to that next open door and we get to walk through it, we have the tools to succeed in that open door. Now, maybe that next open door is your final foundation, and that's where you're going to excel. And you're going to know that it's your final foundation because you're excelling and you're not feeling stuck and you're not feeling like there's nowhere else to go. You're continuing to build your knowledge so you can continue to take the next step. I can tell you a little story about when I realized what an open door actually was and what it meant. Again, in my younger years, I didn't understand what an open door meant. I didn't understand it was opportunity for the next open and the next open. I didn't understand all of that. But I certainly understand it now. And as we ask ourselves, what if I step into that open door? Let's take it down that positive road. What if I grow? What if I gain knowledge? What if there's another step behind that door? Instead of looking at the negative of maybe I have to change companies again. Maybe it's another role that I have to do now. Or it's another role that I have to learn. Take those open doors, whether they're small, medium, large, extra large, whatever those doors look like, take it, because that's going to lead to something greater. As Les Brown always says, you have greatness within you. And we all do. We weren't created to just be mediocre. We weren't created just to live as humans on this earth. No, we were created with greatness. And so as you're asking yourself about that open door, what if it's for me? What if I get to learn? What if It's the next foundation for the bigger door. Take it. I took small steps in the early years of my career. Sometimes they were lateral, sometimes maybe just a little bit more money over here, or maybe it was better insurance and benefits over in another company. But I can tell you this now. I couldn't have told you that then, but I definitely can tell you now that those were all stepping stones. Again, some small, some medium, some big, some extra large. And I continue to have those doors open for me. And now that I understand what each of those doors that opened for me really truly did for me, my doors are getting bigger and bigger, and I couldn't be more excited and more grateful for all the opportunities that I get to experience, because that's what life truly is, right? We all have to work. We all have to have an income in order to live comfortably. So why not make it the best that we can make it? I walked through or jumped through a very extra large door about 8 to 10 years ago. That led me into the career I'm in today, which is an IT consultant for hospitals around the US. And I've worked in multiple locations, from California to Texas to Washington to Michigan, Tennessee, Maine, Massachusetts, everywhere within the United States. Never in a million years would I have ever thought that an opportunity so amazing and so big for my career would have presented itself to me. It was so huge that I actually thought it was a joke. I don't know why I thought it was a joke. I guess because it was so massive and so life-changing on so many levels. But it wasn't. It wasn't a joke. I'm so grateful for having to hear Steve Harvey. This is another thing that helped me make the decision to jump through that huge door that led me to my current career, but was Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey says, if you don't take the leap of faith, you will stay right where you're at, or there's no changes. And at that time when I took that huge jump into a career change, I did not want to stay in my current company for the next 20 years. So it was either I take that leap of faith or that jump of faith. I think it was more of a jump than a leap. But if I didn't take that jump of faith, I would still be where I was not happy. I was not thriving. In fact, I was told by a leadership role that I was in the position that I would be in for the rest of my time with that company, that I would never move up in the company. Well, if those words didn't sting, whew, I don't know what does. That stung really hard. Of course, it knocked me right down. I had no self-confidence. I had no ability, no energy to even try to become something different within that company. So when I heard Steve Harvey say, if you don't take that leap of faith, you are going to stay right where you're at, that voice came back into my head, and I heard once again, you're not going to do anything. You are going to stay right where you're at. I knew this was the open door for me. I knew it. And I also knew because there was some sort of calmness about this decision. Now, don't get me wrong, I was excited, I was nervous. Don't get me wrong, but about the decision, it was really weird. I had some sort of calmness over me, and I was I was calm about it. Now, once I went in and gave my notice to this one particular leadership, um, as I was walking out of the office, they had told me, I'm proud of the decision you made to move on from here because you are never going to go anywhere else within the company. What? I walked out of that office so confused. Like, what just happened? They just knocked me down, and now they just said how proud they were of me? I was so confused. Of course, now I understand where they were coming from when they said, I'm proud of you, because I took the initiative to not accept that that's all I was going to be. For the rest of my career, that's all I was going to be. There was no way in the world that was all I was going to be. So I took the jump of faith, if you will, into that new open door that opened for me. And let me tell you, I have not looked back one bit. If anything, I have moved forward and I have walked through other doors. I have grown in my career, leaps and bounds, and I'm growing again. And I jumped through another door. I took the leap of faith to come on here and to start this podcast. What in the world? Super, super excited that I get to sit here and I get to share with you each and every week about the cases of the what if. And so I ask you in closing today to take a moment and ask yourself, when you are faced with a different situation, a new open door, what if I were to actually take the leap of faith? What's the worst that can happen? That you learn something new? That maybe that is the best chapter of your career? Maybe it opens the door for more leaps, for more foundations, for more doors to open? I look forward to talking about more what if topics in the coming months and in the coming years. So, if you are faced with a what if situation, please let me know. If you would like to hear a different side or a different perspective, I would love to have you come on the show and let's have a conversation about it. Let's see where we can go. Until next time, what if? Have a great day.